2019, a friend and I went to Make Joy, which was a one-off yarn event held at Baden-Powell House in Kensington in London. Both my friend and I are members of Girl Guiding, so the venue was part of the attraction, Baden-Powell being the founder of Scouting and ostensibly the founder of Guiding. I have talked about how previously I started a vlog and it didn't quite work out. So what you've got here is the video footage that I took on the day at the Make Joy event, as well as the bit of the vlog where I talked about my purchases and my experience of the day. Enjoy. Last thing I'd like to talk about is the Make Joy event, which was held in central London just over a week ago, that I went to with a friend of mine. It was hosted by a lady, I think her name is Renee. She's on the internet as Champagne and Quiviot. Quiviot? You know, I've only ever seen that word written down. I've never actually learned how to pronounce it. Bad podcaster. Bad podcaster. It was fairly small. There were not many vendors, 10, 15 perhaps. The way the room was arranged, the vendors had their tables around the outside of the room, and then in the middle were lots of tables and chairs for people to sit and chat and talk and knit. It was billed as being a celebration of friendship, which was just ideal. But it was just lovely. It was just lovely. And I tried not to buy stuff. I failed. Bearing in mind, this was being held in a Scout-related building. I think the building used to be owned by the Scout Association, but was then taken over by a company that runs hostels over Europe, but they are hostels specifically geared towards guides and Scouts. And there was a big poster, big promotional poster for UK Scouting on the side of the building on the outside. First thing I had to get was this. Why doesn't Bear Grylls knit? Actually, I need to show this to some American Scouting friends of mine. I think they'll find it funny. Also worth mentioning, I'm a volunteer with Girl Guiding. The friend that I was with is also a volunteer with Girl Guiding. So every event I go to for Girl Guiding now, I am going to be taking this with me. Now, the one thing I really wanted from doing my research beforehand was Katrinkle's jewellery. Katrinkle's is an American company that makes knitting related jewellery out of wood, like this. Now that is a wooden ornament, the idea being that you decorate it yourself with embroidery thread or sock yarn in the holes in the gaps. They did have other designs of knitwear, but that was the one that just sort of felt proper and grown up. So that was the one I chose for that. Other thing they also had, which I've never seen before and I love, is this, which is to help you determine what your yarn length is, or sorry, your yarn weight. So I guess you just get your yarn, lie it into one of the grooves. You may not be able to see from that angle, but these are actually grooves. You see if I put it on the side? Possibly not, but yeah, that will tell you what your yarn weight is. Very useful and very pretty and just really nice and lovely and tactile. The other person who was there that I did also want to buy from, because I've bought from in the past, was Countess Ablaze. Now, I was explaining to my friend Caroline about Countess Ablaze and how she does rebel batches. So these are batches that are a one-off. Once they're sold, they don't get repeated. And I think I've got 2, possibly 3 rebel batches. So this one I bought because it sort of looked a bit Christmassy. Kind of like, it looks like Christmas cactusy kind of colours. Lots of pink and a kind of yellowy green. And this one, this colour is called Station 11, and it's from the Rebel Batch Dystopia. This one, because I'm a sucker for orange. Just look at that, it's just gorgeous, gorgeous colours. This is called Children of Linen, and it is from the Rebel Batch fake metal bands. I don't know at what point in the year they had that as their Rebel Batch. That's that one. And this one, because I'm a sucker for green as well, is One Person Dance Party, which is from the Rebel Batch Guilty Pleasures. Now, I believe from looking at her Instagram feed that this is the Rebel Batch that's going to be officially released on their website this week. So that one, if you want it, if you like it, it's probably still available. So yeah, I was quite pleased. I didn't realise that I got a Rebel Batch before the official release, but I did. Again, all lovely and squishy and colourful and tactile. And so yeah, Caroline and I did 2 or 3 rounds. Caroline bought some yarn as well. We both entered the raffle. Didn't win anything. But the final thing I got was, now there was a stand that had yarn, which I think possibly was alpaca yarn. And it was gorgeous, it was lovely, it was squishy, it was the kind of yarn you want to just roll in. And the lady at the stall had said they'd done a show in Finland and had taken up all their yarn, but because they were flying, they didn't have all of the shelving and the brackets and things that they would display it on. So they literally had a table with all of their yarn. And apparently a young girl, sort of 4 or 5 years old, just walked up to the table, went with a head face into the yarn. It's like, I cannot think of a better compliment you can pay to yarn than just wanting to bury your face in it. It was that kind of yarn. One of the things they had was a kit for a cowl. So the kit included the main colour, the contrasting colours and the pattern. And unfortunately the cost was £60-something, which was a little bit out of my price budget. But I got the pattern for the cowl anyway because it was just gorgeous. And this is it. It's the Nordic cowl. So the idea being that the pattern on the cowl there is based on Nordic patterns. I think it's double knit. No, I lie. It's not double knit, it's knit in the round and then the ends are grafted together. So all of your colour work and all of your floats are on the inside. They had a sample there and it is just so gorgeous and squashy and lovely. But yeah, unfortunately out of my price range. So that is that. If you'd like to carry on following my knitting journey, please hit the subscribe button at the bottom. Until next time, take care of yourself and your yarn stash. Bye.